Hey everybody, this is Russell Brunson. Welcome back to module number 2 of the Funnelology training course, the new art and science of funnel building. I hope you guys enjoyed the first module and that you've got a lot of ideas so far to help you understand the core concepts, some of these core fundamental concepts that will help you to be able to understand funnels, right? Like, who is your dream customer? Where are they congregating? How do you create a hook, a story, offer to grab those people? And then the next step is, how do we get those people a result? And so that's what this whole session is about. Is now you've got this person, you've done all the work, right? You figure out exactly who they were, you found where they were at, you hooked them, you got their attention, you told them a story, you made them an offer, and they're like excited. Now what? Okay, now what most businesses do, unfortunately, is they sell somebody something and then they hide, like, I hope the person doesn't see me again, right? That's not the way it should be. Okay, after something comes into your world, this is the beginning of a relationship, not the end. Okay, that's the difference between businesses that are successful and businesses that fail. Businesses that fail are ones who are they're transactional, like, I got your money, I'm out. I got your money, I'm out. Okay, I don't ever want to be in a business that's transactional. I want to be in a business that's relationship based, right? Somebody comes in, they buy something, and I'm going to give them value. They're going to enjoy the relationship. And if I do it right, they can continue to follow me on this path. Because, if you think about, like, the goal of business is not so much to make money as much as to change somebody's life. Like, what's the result? What's the product, the service, the things you can do to change that person's life? And we start looking at it through that lens, it shifts everything. So it'll make more sense as we go a little deeper in here how that all works. But so I'm going to jump right in. So session number 2, again, is called the value ladder. This is, again, a core concept I taught initially in the .com Secrets book. And it's so fundamental behind everything we talk about inside of funnel building. Like, understanding this core concept will make everything else simpler as we kind of go through this. So a couple core principles to understand before we dive in. This is my mentor, Dan Kennedy, one of my initial mentors and someone who I have tons of respect for. To this day, of everybody's stuff I've ever studied and I continue to study, I still spend the most time with Dan. And Dan said something amazing. He said, ultimately, the business that can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. Okay, so everything we're talking about in this session is all based on this principle, understanding that ultimately the business that can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. Okay, so that's the job, that's the goal, that's what we're trying to do here. And funnels give you the ability to spend way more money to acquire a customer, but before you can have a funnel, you got to figure out, like, where are you taking people? Okay, and so before we can get to funnels, we got to start mapping out this piece of it, which is called the value ladder. Now, let me kind of walk you through this process. So this is how the value ladder works. So this right here is value. And this right here is price. Okay. So if you look at these axes here, I started thinking about, like, my dream customers. So I want to start with this. Like, if you could really transform and change somebody's life at the highest level, and if money didn't matter, right? Only thing matters is that you're going to get somebody and you're going to change their life. What would that look like? I think about me in the funnel world. Like, the way that I could do that is, like, let's say the way that I could change life the most is, let's say I found you, right? And I say, look, I'm gonna have you fly to Boise. So I pay for a flight, you fly over here to Boise, you get here, my entire team, I'm gonna sit here and we're gonna film your product up here, and then my team's gonna design your funnel, we're gonna drive traffic, we're like doing everything for you. Like, that'd be the best possible thing we could offer somebody, right? And so that's at the top of the value, right? So the value is really, really high. Like, this is the most insane value ever, where Russell does the entire thing for you, okay? Now, obviously, if I'm going to do that, the problem is it's going to cost a lot, right? Because I got to pay for your flights and your hotel, and then the space and my team to film videos and edit videos and to build your funnel and to write your copy, like all the different pieces that go into that, right? So it's going to cost a lot of money, right? So the value is high, but the price is high as well, right? But in a perfect world, this is what I would sell everybody, right? That's why I could serve somebody at the highest level, okay? So that's kind of the beginning part of a value ladder, understanding that. Now, I always tell people, like, imagine if you just saw me for the first time ever. We just met. Hi, I'm Russell Brunson. I know I look like I'm 11 years old, but I'm actually this funnel nerd, and I'm really good at things like that. And if you pay me $1 million plus 30% of all sales come through your funnel, I will build you a funnel. I'll fly out here. My team will do all the work. What do you think? You'd be like, wait, what? Did you say $1 million? No, $1 million plus 30% of all revenue you ever make from that funnel or any lead that you sell after that funnel. That's what I charge for this. You'd be like, you're insane. You look like you're 11 years old. Am I giving you $1 million cash that hopefully you'll build me a funnel that might work, right? Because it's too high. Like most people are going to say no to that offer because why? Because so far we haven't received any value. Like, you have no relationship. You're like, why would I pay this person $1 million? This makes no logical sense, right? So in a perfect world, I would just sell my best thing. In reality, that's hard because of that, right? Because the price is so high. So what we do instead is we build what we call a value ladder. Okay, so the way a value ladder works is I start down here. and I offer something where the value is good, but the price is low, right? So this is like a small price. This is like your big price. It gets expensive, and price, value goes up here as well. So over here, let's just say I came to you and I said, hey, you should buy a copy of my book. It's called .com Secrets. It's amazing, right? And so this is the bottom of the value ladder. And you're like, okay, that looks awesome. I'm like, oh, it is. Trust me. Okay, so this is a book. And so the thing is this, it's free, just covers like $7.95 shipping handling. So the price is low, the value is good. You get the book in the mail, you read it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This book's amazing. I got so much value from this. Then guess what happens inside your mind? You're like, that is awesome. I got so much value, I want more. What else does Russell have, right? And so you start looking, you're like, what else does Russell have? And all of a sudden you start looking, and us humans, we always do this. We naturally ascend up and we want more stuff. You start looking like, well, this book was good. What else does Russell have? And so you say, well, the next step is he's got this over here. It's more expensive. It's more expensive here, but you get more value. So maybe this is like, you get a home study course, right? So say home study course, right? So you go through home study course, you go through, you're like, that was amazing. That was awesome. You're like, well, what's the next tier? And like, oh, if you think that was good, you should come to Funnel Hacking Live because the price is more expensive, but there's more value. So come to FHL. And then you go through this tier and eventually you get a spot where you're like, I'm going to give Russell $1 million. Because I've provided value at every single step along this value ladder. And so when the time you get there, you're like, man, I made this much money here, this much money here. Like all along the way, they're more likely to just say yes to your higher end offers, okay? You think about this, just human psychology. Like this isn't just true in business, it's true in all things in life, right? I know in session 1, I gave you guys an awkward example of me dating, which was really awkward for me to explain, and probably worse for you guys to listen to. But I'm gonna give you another one. So imagine the value ladder when you meet someone for the very first time, right? So I met my wife and I was like, dang, she is cute. If I'd walked up initially and be like, hey, do you wanna get married and have babies? She'd be like, what? Like you're a creep. And she would have ran away, right? So I didn't do that, luckily. Instead, I was like, okay, I'm making her offer. Colette, I want to take you on a date. And if we do go on this date, here's the offer. And I'd create this offer, the whole bunch of value. And I'd tell it to her. And she's like, all right, we'll go on a date with you. I'm like, sweet, right? She took the no-brainer off right here, the equivalent of like a book. Like, I'll give you $7.90. I'll give you $10 to try out a book. Maybe it's good. We'll find out. She goes on this date. We have an amazing time. It's a great experience. And then what happens naturally? If I get value, she gets value, we'll have value in this thing. Then naturally she's gonna want more. And I'll be like, hey, that was really fun. She's like, yeah, I did have a good time. Like, hey, do you want to go on a date next week? She's like, yeah, I would love to. And all of a sudden it moves to the next step, right? And then maybe the next week on a date, and then the doorstep, I give her a kiss, and then both get value. I'm like, that was awesome. And it goes to the next thing. And eventually, somewhere down the line, I say, hey, do you want to get married? And let's have a bunch of kids together. She's like, I would love to. And we get married. Now we got 5 kids together. Okay, but I didn't lead with that, right? You lead down here, you bring somebody and you provide value, and people naturally want to send up your value ladder. So the same way it happens in relationships is the same way it happens in business. That's what's like core to understand. So that's what the value ladder is we're taking somebody on this journey, right? Somebody comes in, like from last module, they see the hook, the story, the offer, they come in, they get the bait, they buy the book, we go on a first date, whatever the equivalent is for your business, they come into your clinic and you adjust them, or they come in for free teeth cleaning, like something happens, they come in, now it's like we've started the relationship. Again, this is not the end. So many transactional businesses think that this is the business, this is the end. Okay, and it's like, no, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the relationship. Now it's like, how do I provide value? How do I take them up here? Okay, and so to do this correctly, you start thinking about your business a little bit differently. Okay, and that's why I'm going to go deep into here with this whole value ladder presentation. So here's kind of a doodle of what a value ladder looks like. I'm going to share some examples of value ladders I've been through, and I want you, as I tell you this, to start thinking about it. Okay, and the more you get used to understanding these things, the more you're gonna start like seeing them all the time. Whenever I tell people this the first time, it's like a magic trick, and then they're like, I get messages on Instagram and Facebook like, Russell, I went through the coolest value ladder today. Like, check this out. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. We all geek out together. It's fun. So one of the first times I ever saw this was right after my wife and I just got married. I started this company, and at the time it was just me, and I was selling stuff. And then I was like, I need a hired employee. So I hired my first employee, my second employee, and then we had a handful of people. And they asked me, they're like, hey, do we get benefits? I'm like, I don't know what that means. I think the benefit of hanging out with me is pretty awesome, right? And they're like, no, that's not awesome. I'm like, what do you mean benefits? And like, well, in a real company, there are. We get dental insurance and health insurance, things like that. And I'd never had a job before, so I didn't know how that works. So I was like, oh, let me figure it out. So eventually we figured out a way to get dental insurance for everyone. That was our first big benefit. So we got dental insurance, and then I got a postcard in the mail that was like, hey, coming for free teeth cleaning. I was like, oh my gosh. So this dentist had a postcard that said free teeth cleaning. I got in the mail. I was like, okay, I have dental insurance now. I get free teeth cleaning. I'm in. So I remember I went to the dentist, went for my free teeth cleaning, took the card in there. They went and cleaned my teeth. I was receiving value. I'm like, this is really, really great. And as I'm getting my teeth cleaned, I remember the dentist asked me something, or maybe it was a hygienist. I can't remember exactly. It's been a little while, but they basically asked me, said, so do you smoke or do you drink coffee? I was like, no. Why? Like, oh, well, your teeth were kind of yellow, so I assumed maybe you're a smoker or you drink coffee. I'm like, wait, what? My teeth are yellow? They're like, yeah, but that's okay. If you want, like, we have a teeth cleaning kit. We could give it to you and you can clean your teeth. And I'm like, oh yes, please, yes, give me a teeth cleaning kit, right? Teeth cleaning kit. And so they said, they told me about that. I said, yes, give me the thing. They upsold me, boom, and I got the teeth cleaning kit, right? I moved up the value ladder. I spent more money, price went up, and I got more value. Then they're cleaning a little while later and said, hey, did you have braces in your kid? I'm like, yeah, I did. How can you tell? Like, oh, well, your bottom teeth are crowding, your top are kind of shifting a little bit. I was like, wait, what? Like, yeah, but it's like, don't stress about it. If you want, there's Invisalign, there's retainers, things like that we can do. And I'm like, well, tell me about that. Tell me about those kind of things. And eventually I ended up getting, back then I got a retainer. Recently I got Invisalign to help straighten out my teeth, right? And boom, there's I don't even know how much it costs, $3,000 thing there. And did I get mad? It's like, no, the price went up, but I received more value. Now I got white teeth, I got straight teeth, okay?